welcome back. It's been a while. We're going to do a pretty diamond wrap around a 20-ounce tumbler from Stainless Depot. This is the vinyl we're using from Brightswan. And I have just used my Cricut and cut out little 5.5-inch squares with that vinyl. That's all I did. I put a square in Cricut and cut it out, cut the vinyl out that way. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to wrap these. You can see how I'm kind of evening this out right here. I'm getting out of frame a little bit, but you know me, I always get out of frame at least once. But we're going to put one of those squares on one side, and then we're also going to put one on the other side. And I'm just seeing which way looks better here. We'll just even those out. And you want to make sure that those little points match up. I guess, on this cup, it probably really doesn't matter that they don't match up. But if they match up, then it's straight in the front. So I'm just going to use the hinge method. And you guys don't pay attention to my yucky nails. Oh my gosh. I've been chewing my nails like crazy. It's been super stressful around here the last couple of months. So just ignore my bad habits. But I'm just using the hinge method. I cut off a little edge there and stuck it down. And I'm just rubbing back and forth to get that vinyl to go on with no bubbles or wrinkles or anything like that. So that's really all that we're doing right here. It's really easy to put these little squares of vinyl on a cup. And again, this is a 20-ounce from Stainless Depot. So there's one side. And then we're just going to do the exact same thing to the other side. As soon as I make sure that there's no bubbles or anything in that. And my camera died on me, so you missed where I was kind of lining that up, but just kind of making sure that it's even on both sides, that the points on either side of the top and the bottom of the cup, match up, so it's not crooked. So we're just going to do the exact same thing on this side, just rubbing that down from side to side. And you can use your fingers. You can use any kind of tool that's flat to rub that down. So, and that's easy enough for that. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to actually cut a little bit of this off. Now you can see that first piece of vinyl we put on, you can see the crease through the vinyl. So it's not hard to cut it, but you do want to cut one of these little corners off. So you'll see me do this right here, and I'm basically just following, and I'm kind of rubbing down so I can see it better. But I'm just basically following that line of where that other piece of vinyl is, because I only really want this to overlap on one side. I don't want it overlapping on both sides. So I'm just cutting along that crease just very carefully. And I do have a brand new blade in my craft tool, so I'm able to not have to put a ton of pressure on it, and it'll cut pretty easy. And then I'm actually using my little craft knife to peel off that top piece of vinyl. You just want to make sure you're only pulling off the top piece and not the bottom piece as well, because I have done that before too. So that's what we're left with. So now we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. And I'm doing the exact same thing, guys. So I'm just gonna kind of speed through this. We want it to look like that those two diamonds are actually touching, and this is the easiest way that I have found to do it. So without having to do a bunch of crazy measurements and stuff. So I'll kind of speed through this, and again, it's the exact same thing. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to tape off this vinyl. That way we can get our cut painted and get our glitter put on. So we'll get this taped off real quick. Okay. So we've got that all taped off. I'm just actually painting this with apple barrel acrylic paint. It's just white acrylic paint. I didn't have any other white paint available, and I use this one the most whenever I paint my cups, so that's what we are going to do. So we have that all painted. I'm going to let that dry. And here are the glitters that we're going to use. We're going to use White Diamonds from Glitter Heart Co., which is a specialty you have to get on Etsy now. Skyline from Glitter Heart Co. And Dragon Princess from Glitter Heart Co. So these are the three that we're going to use. And there is a code down below for a discount if you guys want to purchase any of these glitters. So I have retaped my cup, and I'm actually going to put these glitters on using the epoxy method. I don't like using glue to put on glitter. I know that I've done some videos using glue, and that's FYI for y'all's sake. I hardly ever use glue to put on glitter. So I'm just going in with my epoxy, and I'm trying to be very careful and not let it run down onto that vinyl. Epoxy just works better for me, guys. And then I don't have to, the way we're going to put this glitter on makes it where we don't have to spray seal it or anything like that, because it's pretty much stuck. So we're just going to get this epoxy put on this cup, and then we will go in with our glitter. Okay, and the first one that we're going to use is going to be the White Diamonds from Glitter Heart Co. They sold this a long time ago, and when I say a long time ago, it's been a long time ago. But you can actually, well, I was able to get this off of Etsy. I've wanted it for a long time. So, I think I got it off the Bowen Etsy page. So, if you can go on there and see if they still have any. I don't know, but Glitter Heart Co. does not sell this anymore. But what we're going to do is we're just kind of sprinkling these glitters on, just not really all over. We don't want full coverage with any of them. So the pink diamonds is on. I'm going to do the skyline, and I'm going up a little higher with the skyline as far as, I'm holding the glitter up high, because I do have a heavy hand and I will just clump that stuff all over the place. So I kind of wanted it to look like the colors that are in the vinyl. And it's really pretty, guys. It actually ends up almost looking like, if I had to name the glitter that I mixed with this, I would name it cotton candy, because that's what it reminded me of. But this is a little bit chunkier. The Dragon Princess is a little bit of a chunkier glitter, so it'll give it a little bit more dimension. It's one of their, I forget what they call them. Oh my gosh. I'm going brain dead at the moment. But they have a chunkier fine cut glitter, and that's what this is. So it's going away what they call it. So I'm just going in with that on top, and since it's chunkier, I am having to shake that one a little bit a little bit just to get it on there. But you just want to make sure that all the white is covered. I did want it to look just a little bit translucent, which it does, so it's okay. I did put a little bit more of the white diamonds on top because I love, love, love this glitter. And as you can see, I forgot to change my paper below, but it made a really pretty mix. So I'll end up using that mix on something. So I just didn't want any like big splotches of blue or big splotches of pink all over the cup. So it just kind of mixed everything together. So in here is our tumbler with our glitter on it. We're going to take this tape off immediately. You don't want this tape, you don't want the epoxy to dry, and I am using KS Resin Fast Set, by the way. You don't want this epoxy to dry and glue that tape to that cup pretty much is what it would do. And after I realized what I was doing, guys, that I was laying this tape and all of that pretty mix of glitter, I did pull the tape out, so a little bit of glitter got wasted sticking to the tape, which I was super sad about because it was so pretty. But it wasn't much. I was able to salvage enough for maybe just, you know, a little sprinkle here and there if I want one. I think I actually did make like a little mold out of the glitter I had left, so. But the way we were sprinkling on it, it really, we didn't waste a whole ton of glitter. So it was very, very minimal. So I am going to get 1 or 2 coats of epoxy put on this cup. I think I actually ended up having to do 2 coats. I let this dry for about 4 hours, then I did 2 coats of epoxy. So we'll come back and do the striping next, and we will see the finished product. Okay guys, now we are just going to do our vinyl striping. I'm using a really pretty opal vinyl from Tech Wrap Craft. That's hard to say, I mess that up every time. But there is a discount code down below for this as well. And I do not remember the dimensions that I cut this, but what I did was I just created and this is going to speed through here in a minute. We're just going through and putting the vinyl on these lines. I put a square on your Cricut or Silhouette, whatever you're cutting the vinyl out of, and just make it where you can move that square around and manipulate it. I mean, it's easy to do vinyl striping on whether you have a Cricut or a Silhouette. So we're just going to go through and stripe this cup real quick. And I'm just kind of speeding through here because putting vinyl on is very tedious and it's boring and you don't want to watch me do this whole cup. But this is the only vinyl I put on. I just put on that blue. To finish this cup off, I'm just scraping the epoxy I'm just using my craft knife and going around the rim of that cup just to get all that epoxy off. Be very careful when you do that. Now I'm taking my Dremel with my flywheel on it and just going around the rim of that cup and getting off any extra epoxy that's stuck to the top of it. So this is what we ended up with, guys. It'll get 1 more coat of epoxy and she's done and she's beautiful. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.